So, good morning, friends. And today's presentation, we have two eminent people from Texas Review. All right. They will be taking over the session today. The ideology of having this session here, which is probably for say 30-35 minutes, okay, is to sensitize you, to create awareness among you people with respect to higher studies opportunities, in this post-COVID era. They will take you through to the sensitization aspect with respect to admissions to US, or let's say admissions to Canada. Okay, so now with these few brief words, I would formally welcome on behalf of all my students and friends here, Mr. Dept and Mr. Srivasta. So Dept, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, sir. I would request you to take over the proceeding. Please briefly, introduce your company to our young friends and also the chief guest for today. Thank you.
Yes, thanks. See, guys, my name is Dev. I'm working in Texas Review as marketing head, Yelanga brand. Okay, so we are completely into test preparation, courses, immigration, admission, and for admission end-to-end process. So those will be discussed later. But today's speaker is Mr. Srivasta Raja, who has total more than 15 years of work ex with Ernst and Young, Paytm, Idea, Reliance Communication, and for last 8 years he is associated with education industry for higher education, and he has worked for Manya, the Princeton Review, and right now he is working with Texas Review with us as the admission head. So he will take over and continue the session. Okay, welcome Mr. Srivasta Raja.
Thank you, sir. And please do share your presentation also for the benevolence of these kids.
Yes, sure, sir. 1 minute. Okay. Hi guys, Srivasta here. So,
Morning, sir.
good morning. So today we're going to talk about the options available for civil students for the masters and various factors which is looked into when applying for different countries and specializations. So we'll start off with the presentation now.
You can share the screen. Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you. That's great.
Okay, so I'm representing Texas Review. I work here as a admissions head. So I'll briefly and very quickly make you go through the process involved and your options available in terms of your masters for your civil, and various other options available in management as well, not just in engineering field, right? So brief intro on us. We are into end-to-end process of, regardless of what you want to do when you go abroad. We'll help you with the visas, we'll help you with immigration, GMAT, GRE, SAT, TOEFL, PTE. So that's something which we do in a nutshell. And we've been doing this for the past 8 years. And frankly, we are excelling in this, and we are going to be the top leaders in this. So today's seminar is on study abroad. Right? Okay, so why should we study abroad? Any students, you are free to answer. I mean, why would anyone want to study abroad? Before I just continue the next slide. Anyone? No?
Their knowledge is limited, sir. So probably we can sensitize them, because
Sure.
Probably what happens in most of these students is now they don't realize. I always believe that failing to plan is planning to fail. So
Right.
what mostly happens is toward the fag end, these kids realize that I have a direction. Unfortunately, I didn't work on this direction before. So these small steps probably can sensitize one or two.
Okay, sure, sir. Yeah. So I'll walk you through this. See, most of all, see, guys, the reason we study and do a master's is to feed a family, to be the sole breadwinner of the family, right? And that is something which definitely facilitates once you go abroad in comparison to, doing jobs in India. You get lucrative job opportunities. 100% of study abroad alumni recommend it. I mean, you don't find any students who's gone abroad and regretted it. No one. And you will definitely see a boost in your GPA and the way you perform because of the options available in the universities. And of course, this increase in self-confidence because you have a global exposure and you can look at the perspective of various other countries on what they're looking into and what they want to develop once they graduate from the universities. So that'll give you a better perspective on what you should be doing or what your options available once you come back to either India or if you're looking to settle in the country, of course, even that. And yes, we should agree that they definitely have cutting edge technology and research in comparison to most of the universities in India. I mean, of course, we do have top universities like IITs and IIMs, and yes, we do have a handful of universities who made it to the list of top 50, say around 5 to 6 universities, but that's it. Even though we are little limited to that, it will definitely give you a broader perspective once you do your master's abroad. So, when discussing the first option we had in the previous slide, let's compare the salaries when you do your masters in UK and US in comparison to India. So, just have a proper look at this slide. This is a screenshot taken from the Glassdoor, which is an eminent website in comparison to salaries when you're applying for your jobs. So on an average, these would be the salaries once you graduate from your civil engineering, right? So on an average, we can see around 6 lakhs per annum, or the maximum salary we can see is HCC Group, which offers around 45K a month. That's the maximum any civil engineering student can dream of, right? So going to the next slide, what do you think would be the salaries for civil engineers in US? So this is the average packages of any graduate in the US from a civil engineering department, right? So the cream of the pack, that is, best of the pack, get an average salary of around 112. Sorry, yeah, $1,12,850 per annum, and that is a big number. Say that should be definitely around 10 to 20 times of more than any graduate who's earning in India. And if you look at UK, by experience, the starting salary would be around 25K pounds. That easily translates to 24 lakhs. So that is for the freshers. Anyone with less than 1 year of experience would be earning 25K pounds. That is 24 lakhs. And it doesn't stop from there. I mean, 1 to 4 years, you have 29K, 34K, 40K. So, I mean, if you just settle down there and or plan to work there for 3 years, which is ideally the stay back period, once you graduate in any country, you'd easily be earning between 29 to 34K pounds in UK, and that is a lot of savings if you want to come back and start your own firm, because you have gained enough knowledge and enough money to come back and start feeding your family. So coming to the education systems in various countries abroad, we look at the requirements and what they look for and the durations of each country if you want to do your masters. So in US, if you want to do your masters, it takes around 2 years, and so is in Canada. But if you want a quicker masters, be there, learn a little quicker with the same, what do you say? Same proficiency and same teaching skills, nothing less than any other country. You can easily go to UK and Australia, finish your masters in a year or two, and then you get your optional stay back period for around 2 to 3 years, depending on the region you stay, work there, and then come back. The required test for each country, USA, yes, they do need a GRE or a GMAT score if you're looking for management, that is. Along with it, you need to give your IELTS or TOEFL to prove your proficiency in English. And when it comes to UK, GRE is an exam. Okay, before that, GRE is something which proves your skills in verbal and quant. So it's a test for around 3.5 hours, wherein it's more or less like an aptitude test, nothing grueling as a GATE exam or a CAT exam. Not too much into technical aspects. They just want to see how good you are in your verbal skills and quant skills. And the kind of questions you get in GRE exam is, say, around 10 to 11 standard level questions. Nothing too complicated. But the trick here is you just get a minute and a half to answer each question, and the questions would be too lengthy. So you need to, use your brains a little more, not just on the technical aspect. Be a little street smart and get the answers as quickly as possible. And IELTS, anyone who is proficient in English is just a cakewalk for anyone. You can easily score, and you just have to prove your efficiency in reading, writing, listening, and reading. And believe me, anyone who is well versed in English can pass this test within a very short span of time. And it's easy to score 6.5 and above out of 19. Sorry. So coming back to the countries, USA, it mostly looks for GRE, IELTS, and TOEFL. IELTS and TOEFL are more or less the same. TOEFL is just US English, and IELTS is more of UK English. You don't have to break your heads more on the slangs and everything. They just want to see your vocabulary and communication skills. That's all. But when it comes to UK, it's a lot more easier to get into this country with just an IELTS score if not targeting the top universities. So you just need your IELTS score. And I guess for this intake, they waived off the IELTS test also. And you just need to have 65 and above in your +1 and +2, first and second PU, and you're good to go. You get to enter the country. You can look for this intake. For Canada, yes, Canada is a dream destination for anyone who's looking to settle in, and the PR, that is the permanent residence. So after you do your masters here, you will definitely add in more points for applying for a PR and to settle down there. And one more easy and quicker way to get into US is through Canada by getting a PR in here. And we do have Australia and Singapore, which are not so famous, but are slowly evolving in terms of international students' favorites. So let's look at the costs. Frankly, here this is a myth saying that going abroad is only for the rich. It's definitely not. Considering the various options you can look for, you have scholarship options, and you have very affordable bank loans, and most of the universities are welcoming international students by giving them various scholarship options. 20 to 30 lakhs in UK just for 1 year is very low compared to the ROI which you're getting once you start working in that country. Like you saw in the previous slide, you'd easily start earning 25,000 pounds a year, which is very equivalent to the university fees which you're paying. And same goes to Canada and Australia. The starting salaries of once you start working in a proper company would definitely match your university cost, and that can be easily paid back within 2 to 3 years. Or if you're bootstrapping your stay and working on a tight budget, you can definitely pay it back in a year or two, and whatever you earn after that all goes to your pocket, right? So in US, per annum it would definitely cost you around 30 to 40 lakhs, and it's not cheap. But then you have one of the top Fortune 500 companies in US. Most of the Fortune 500 companies are in the US, and you have a wider job market in there. In UK, yes, like you saw, you can easily earn around 25k pounds on an average and repay. And the best part about UK is you can finish your masters in 1 year, and the government gives you an option to stay back for 2 more years after your graduation, so you can start looking for the jobs and so on. In Canada, there's a benefit of PR, and it's the most friendliest country you can ever see. And Australia, yes, it's evolving, and that is something which you can always explore because you get an option of 3 years to stay back in Australia. So on an average, you need a budget of around 30 lakhs plus 10 lakhs for stay. So within 40 lakhs, you're covered to study abroad. And most of the bank guys, they are always more than happy to give you loans. And we do have government banks giving interest of around 8.5 to 9%, wherein you start paying your loans only after your graduation and start working. So you have your benefit in there as well. So what do universities look at while selecting a student? When it comes to Indian universities, it's always on the marks, right? It's not on the overall development. So, but that's not the case when you're looking for universities abroad, right? So this is a small nutshell on how the universities usually shortlist students. So large universities, well-known universities, they give a lot of preference to score and the GPA which you have. And of course, personals, that is your statement of purpose, your letter of recommendations, and your extracurricular activities, it adds to around 25 to 30% of weightage. But when it comes to small universities, they give a lot of weightage to your overall personality, the intent of why you should be getting into university. You need to write a passage called a statement of purpose, wherein you should explain why you're interested in getting into universities. It's more or less like giving a proposal to the university on what you're worth of. So sorry, I'm stumbling a little here. So ideally, you should be explaining to the university, why you should be getting in there and why you're capable of going into the university. So that is a one-page passage which you're supposed to give, and they do give a little preference to score and the GPA. So these are two kinds of universities and two kinds of perspectives which they look into. Coming to the standardized tests, like I told you previously, we have GMAT, GRE, TOEFL, and IELTS, which are the basics in terms of study abroad programs. They also look at the work experience in terms of MBA. Okay, so it's only for MBA and not for masters, because I've seen most of the students who are looking for masters saying that they would want to work for a year and then apply for the masters abroad and then for the work again. But believe me, having a year's worth of experience and then applying for masters is of no use at all. I mean, definitely you would have a little exposure in terms of the work culture and work ethics, but that is something which can easily be learned after your graduation also. So that is not too much of a work. If you want to get comfortable, if that is the reason you're saying that you want to experience the work culture and so on, you're just wasting 1 year's worth of time, and that is something which is never going to come back. So if you're looking to do your masters, do it right away, because once you start working, you get too comfortable saying that, sir, engon and 25,000, 40,000 salary there. Abroad sir. So that will start creeping in your mind. And I've seen a lot of students doing that and regretting it later. And apart from the standard test and work experience, they also look at the extracurricular activities. They look at how active you are in the university apart from your books and apart from your tests and internals. They want to look at the holistic development of you and not just in terms of textbooks and books, right? So they want to see what all seminars or webinars have you participated in, or have you given any webinars? Have you been working on any projects? Have you been participating in any quiz? How have you been trying to improve yourself apart from what's being taught in the college and academics? So that definitely proves your intent, saying that it shows your seriousness, to be frank. It shows your seriousness on how you want to improve yourself and what career path you have set in your mind, and how do you see yourself in a span of 5 years or 10 years, what's the plan and so on. So that will definitely boost their confidence in taking you in, because you are the ones who would be representing the universities once you join them, and they don't want anyone to tarnish their reputation just by taking a regular student. That's not the case at all. So if you have a proper intent, they'd be more than happy to take you in and sculpt you and mold you accordingly. And when in terms of academics, consistency and stability in academics is the key. It's not like first 3 years or first 2 years, I was not serious, I was playing around, and finally in the last 2 years I became very serious and I wanted to get back my CGPA on the top level and then work on it. No, that is very inconsistent performance. You have to be very consistent in terms of your scores, and most importantly on the specializations which you've taken and how seriously you've done it. So they look into the internal scores on semester wise and see how much you've scored on each semester. Even that would be considered. And in terms of letter of recommendation, this is very important, and it's about time you started being very friendly with your professors and lecturers, because they should give you a letter of recommendation saying that this student, I mean, any professor who's been teaching you on any subjects, they know you better and they're the ones who can recommend you to the university saying that this student is definitely worth it and you can take him forward. So it's about time you got a little more closer to your professors, because your LOR does play an important role in terms of documents. Research papers, it's mostly PhD oriented, but then having this would definitely help you getting more scholarships, because that proves your efficiency and your seriousness again. So importance of career goals, like I told you, universities expect strong career goals from master's applicants, because they don't want anyone to come into the universities just for the sake of it, just to get a master's degree and have fun in the country and go away. They want serious applicants, and candidates with a strong profile but weak career goals may not have high chances of getting admissions into the universities. So your statement of purpose has to be very strong. It should explain your career goals and career path 5 years down the lane or 10 years down the lane. And it's not just a copy paste of any other SOP, because even after applying, the university admissions committee would question you, and there would be a brief interview for around 5 to 10 minutes, and would talk to you about your ambitions and what you'd want to do in the future and what kind of projects you want to work when you join the university. They expect you to do a little research on the university. What kind of professors are there? What kind of students have graduated from these universities and where they are working? So it's important to do a little research on the universities and why you want to go there, and they expect you to answer that. And having no or unclear career goals may lead to wrong choice of program. So this is one thing I definitely stress on. I mean, ideally a candidate should start formulating career goals at least a year before applying. Okay, so this is the right time. You should get a little more serious and see where your career path is heading, right? I mean, talking about career path, you definitely have a lot of options, guys. So pursuing higher studies like MBA or MTech after BTech is a wise option. Post-graduation would help students build a definitive career after civil engineering. You have options like MBA in construction management, infrastructure management, project management, and real estate management. These are some of the specializations which can be considered, right? And in terms of research, there you can work on various projects like earthquake engineering, hydraulics, environmental engineering, soil reinforcement, and geosynthetics. Options after civil engineering is huge and vast, and there are many more niche job opportunities evolving, and you need to be on top of your toes and research on what options are available and go forward to it, right? It's not just as a civil engineer you go and join a government job and just settle. I mean, government job is for the lucky few. I mean, most of the top level corporate employees also resign from their jobs to get into a government job for a stress-free environment. So that is very competitive and definitely pays you more. But then in terms of specialization and the opportunities available, it's huge. You need to research properly, and you get even more options when you go abroad. And graduating from the same specialization would add more value if you come back to India. After 3-4 years, most of the companies would give you a red carpet entry because you have the skills and techniques which is definitely required for these companies to develop India, because we are moving towards smart city and you guys are the ones to take it forward. So admission requirements, few of the common admission mistakes are like poor academics, inconsistent and pack mentality. Like my friend, he joined this university and I'm going only to that university. Don't narrow down to such universities or such decisions, because this is something which will impact your career and life. So don't take things too casually, because it's definitely going to impact you in the future. So you have a lot of options to consider right now. Utilize the time and take it forward one step at a time. Choosing one right school. I mean, there's nothing like right school, because even in terms of rankings, when it comes to university, you can go wrong because there varies various options considered in terms of ranking. Not just they can be overall satisfaction ranking, they can be program-wise ranking, they can be number of students who got placed after graduation. So there are too many rankings available on the internet, and that will definitely confuse you. So again, doing research and with the proper guidance would definitely lead you to the right university and specialization. And like I was telling you previously, never make price a priority, right? Because there are many options available. You have loans, scholarships. I just don't want to repeat that again, but when you're looking at university, always consider the ranking of the university and the kind of research and the kind of professors they have, because they are the ones who will help you land into a better job. And in terms of loan, that can easily be repaid back once you start working there. Sorry. Before I forget, I just want you guys to fill this. Who's interested can please fill this form, and we'll definitely reach back to you, right? So coming back to the presentation. Yeah. So what are the kind of fields which are popular in various countries? Canada is mostly known for biology, biothermal engineering, computer science engineering courses, and MBA, right? And in Germany, yes, we all know we have BMW, Audi, which are from Germany, and these are world famous, and it's known for automobile and AI technology. In terms of civil engineering, we have Australia and UK, which are the favorite destinations for these specializations, because they definitely need this in terms of infrastructure, because Australia is isolated. It's somewhere in the corner of the world, and they definitely need good number of civil engineering students for the development of the country and the forefront. How do you put this? They're the forefront of economy right now, because they're leading the economy. And in UK, yes, of course, after the Brexit, they definitely need more manpower to raise up in economy, and that this is also an evolving market. So how do we help you in this process? So we can help you in the selection process. The best universities, we have tied up with almost most of the universities across all the countries, and we have good partnerships in and for a longer duration, say around 5+ years or 8+ years. We have good relations with universities, and that will definitely help you fasten the process in terms of application. We'll also help you with profile enhancement. We'll help you present the best of yourself to the universities, because that is what matters, because they will judge a student with just one piece of paper, that is called SOP and LOR and your rankings. And we'll also guide you in terms of financial documents, will assist you in applying for financial aid and scholarships also. And will also help you edit your SOP, your research topics, your resumes, essay, and letter of recommendations. Will help you review your university application, because even a small mistake can lead to a visa rejection or university application rejection. Will prepare you for your visa application and interview process, and will coach you on the admissions interview. Because a little stumble here and there, I mean, of course, as a human, we tend to get nervous when you're talking to new people, which kind of happened to me at the initial of this seminar. So it's something natural which happens, but with time and practice, you can definitely ace it and be confident when you're giving your interview to the outcome. So why learn with us and why you should choose us? We have a broad perspective of the way the market is and the way tests are given the experience we have in this field. And compared to any of the competitors, as we call it, we are the best, and we are proud to claim that. So we give you full-length test and reviews, hundreds of practice questions, customizable study plans, accessible to test prep, by system, mobile. We have various applications. We have unique training methodology thanks to the kind of trainers we have who has around 5 years plus of experience in this field. And we can give you additional assistance not just in the classroom but anywhere outside also. And most of the courses are valid for 1 year. So starting from the pre-final year, yes, you can definitely start taking up these courses, prepare them, take as much as time possible. Only once you're confident, you can give a GRE, GMAT, and IELTS exams. We give you personalized training also, not just the classroom. You're always welcome to get in touch with the trainers here any time of the day within the work hours, of course, and they'd be more than happy to guide you on this. So yes, most of the applications can be accessed from anywhere, anytime. And in terms of destination country, will help you shortlist universities on your perspective, on what stream you want to apply for, and the cost of education, and are you looking for university scholarships. At times, even the location you're doing your masters plays a very important role, because the companies hiring and looking for students would want someone from that particular area and this particular university. So if you're career oriented, you have a different set of universities. If you're more lent towards academics, you have a different set of universities and different specializations just for that. Admission counseling, yes, once you've achieved your good scores through the training, the counselors will assist you to shortlist few universities based on your profile, budget, location preferences, etc. Later, we'll start the admission process and get you the admissions from the decided universities. And we'll definitely assist you with scholarships, like I told you before, and that will definitely add you to the, it will loosen the burden of financial constraints most of the students might have. We'll help you with the visa counseling process. We'll prepare you for the visa interviews, what kind of questions you can anticipate, because if these are few of the questions which can lead to a visa rejection, like incomplete application, even mismatch of your name from one document to another can lead to a rejection, or wrong information, because the visa team, the guys at the visa interview process would have access to all documents which you have given to the universities, and they would definitely cross-check and ask you questions regarding that, and any wrong answer would definitely lead to a rejection. Improper documents, yes, not showing valid documents, like such as financial documents, or the I-20, the offer letters which you get from the universities. If it's not documented properly or not notarized, it can lead to rejection. Insufficient proof of funding or any criminal activity, yes, I mean, none of us would definitely have it, but again, they would run a background check, and if they find anything, even that would lead to a rejection if it's not disclosed properly. And plausible intent of immigration. I mean, of course, anyone who's going abroad would definitely want to settle there, and that is the dream of any student. But then that's treated otherwise in when it comes to visas, because they would definitely not want anyone to go and settle there with not that intention. I mean, if they come and ask you, do you have any cousins who are working there? Are you looking to join the company? And if you say yes, bam, your visa is rejected. So we will assist you and prepare you for these kind of tricky questions and how to answer them, and that will definitely help you in passing these visa process. Apart from this, we'll definitely assist you with the loan process, airport pickup and accommodation, part-time job search and transport travel. Once you go there, we'll prepare you for the healthcare and medical guidance by taking proper insurances, and we'll also assist you with foreign exchange, transport, and local area familiarization. Because we definitely have a good number of students who have already, taken the services from us and settled and started working there, and we'll definitely give you their references, which will make the process a lot more easier once you go there to do your masters. And of course, we have a good number of branches spread out, and frankly, we have around 15 to 16 branches spread out in South India, and you can find us most of the places. So this concludes right on time. So we have 5 minutes for a Q&A session. Sorry, I had to rush through this a little, but if there was something which I was not able to cover, or if you have any questions in mind, feel free to ask, and I'll be more than happy to help you.
Students, if you have any kind of questions with respect to the presentation or higher study opportunities, please do address it. It's a platform for you to get some amount of awareness. The question may be specific, may be generic. You may think it is silly. There's nothing called silly. Please, if you've got any queries, please raise it.
So what are your chances of getting a scholarship?
Right. So remember the slide which I showed you? Each university has its own criteria and the profiles which they have in mind, right? So it purely depends on your academics, and at times it even depends on your SOP, the statement of purpose, right? So if you have a good CGPA, say around 8.5 or 9.5 above, the chances of getting scholarships are even more. And again, in terms of the specialization, again, if you're choosing a mainstream profile, the competition would be very high. So in that case, you need to have an excellent profile when you're applying for scholarships. But then if you're looking at non-mainstream profiles like niche sectors, in terms of civil engineering, yes, the chance of getting scholarships are higher even with a lower score. So it balances out on both the sides, right? So again, scholarships are always on case-to-case and profile basis, and we can guide you on that. So how is your CGPA, if I can ask?
Around 8-ish.
8, right? Okay, so 8 is a good score. I mean, in UK, they take in students, anyone who has around 55% and above, and 8 is like, oh wow, you have 8% CGPA, please come in. That's how they treat you. So chance of getting scholarship would a little more higher with this percentage and CGPA. I hope that answered your question.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Guys, don't feel shy. You can ask any question, and I'd be more than happy to answer, because at a point of time, even I wanted to do my masters, but I really didn't have anyone to guide me, and I ended up starting to work as soon as once I finished my bachelor's, and till date I regret not taking up my masters, and that's the reason I'm more than happy to help anyone who wish to do their masters.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, you mentioned a few slides back about doing the master's right after the bachelor.
Mm-hmm.
So, but why will a company like hire us if we have a master, but we don't have any prior experience in any company?
See, even now, I mean, from the previous batch, 12 of the students got placed in the companies, right? And they definitely didn't have any work experience. Even considering during the pandemic, a placement of around 50% from the batch is a good number. So when any company hires you, they would definitely not look at the work experience you have, because that is something which they can definitely give you. What they want to look at is what kind of knowledge you have and what kind of ideology you have which can benefit the company. So when you apply to the company, you should prove them that you have the set skills which is required, and the creativity which definitely lacks in the company in terms of projects and the way it can be done. If you can prove this and have the skills, they'll be more than happy to take you in there.
Okay, sir.
Anyone else?
Are there any other questions or queries, students? Anything else? If you have any other further queries, you can kindly reach to the gentleman at the number that they've given. So probably you can also share your, probably the web address or your email address.
Sure, 1 minute. So I'll drop my mail ID in this. Feel free to reach out and send any queries.
Yeah, so you can put it in the chat box, sir.
Sure, I'm doing it.
Yeah, and I believe that there was also a feedback form which needs to be floated. Dept, sir, there was a feedback form that needs to be floated. That also can be, that link can be shared here.
Yes,
Yes,
sir. The
so
link has been shared already.
I've shared the link. I'm doing it again.
Yeah, that's a Google Meet link.
And the feedback in the chat box.
I think that's the you're sharing the Google Meet link, sir. You're not sharing the feedback link.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. 1 second, sir.
Thank you, sir. That's perfect. So students, you can give the feedback with respect to the Google form that has been shared by sir. So are there any other questions that you might have? Anybody else? Any questions that you have? If there are no more further queries, then I would like to take the opportunity to thank Texas Review, Srivasta sir and Dept sir for giving a brief sensitization to the admission process for United States and Canada. I hope that this session has encouraged or motivated the students to think abroad. Okay, and yes, probably efforts are required from students to improve their skills, improve their scores, to become bankable, to become placeable, or to get an opportunity with respect to scholarship, higher studies. So I would like to take this opportunity once again to thank all the students and the higher education coordinator from the department, Chandrasekhar sir, and of course the representatives from Texas Review. I thank you all once again.